Mike, we're talking Penn State and recruiting. It seems early. They don't do signing for 2014 until February, but Penn State has 9 guys already committed for the 2014 year. That seems really early for them. It seems like they've got some notable names in here. I've seen some rankings and publications that has Penn State as high as 11th in the country.
11th, 13th, according to the major services. Yeah, I'm blown away by this. And one of the things is that you talked about. It doesn't seem like the time of year. There is no offseason for O'Brien and his staff. I mean, this is really, absolutely a 365-day-a-year proposition recruiting. And what's interesting about the group that they have signed is 7 of the 9 are little fast guys, wide receivers, defensive backs, kick returners, guys that are being recruited as an athlete. We hear that all the time. They're getting faster and more athletic for whatever it's worth. I think they're going to have to complete this class with some more linemen.
Yeah, it's a versatile group. As you mentioned, those 7 guys, a lot of them, or maybe they're outstanding at running back, but they also were a pretty good defensive back, or a good wide receiver, but also played deep. And I think, and the one guy in North Carolina, he is very versatile, and I think that, is he actually going to be a receiver because he's very good on punt and kick returns? And I've seen some highlights.
You know what it reminds me of? This is probably a goofy comparison, but to have a great high school track team, you have to have depth in the sprints.
Yeah.
Because if you have a lot of sprinters, probably one of them is going to be a good triple jumper, and one of them is going to be a good hurdler, and you're going to have good relay teams. That's sort of what this is in a way, in football terms.
Very much so. But if your scholarships are limited, having somebody, and I still think out of this recruiting class, you may see 1, maybe even 2 guys that are playing multiple positions, possibly.
Right. I think that's exactly right. Everything is seen within the specter of these recruiting, the NCAA sanctions. But when these recruiting services are ranking them 11th or 13th, they're not factoring that in. That's just they're 11th best in the country according to them.
Now, O'Brien comes from New England, where guys played multiple positions. There was times in the past where Belichick took a wide receiver and put him at defensive back. So this is not something that's outside the norm to do. And Charles Woodson, and there's been college players in the past that have played multiple positions. So it's a great way when you've got limited scholarships to do this. 2 good linebackers are coming in, but there seems to be a lack of offensive or defensive linemen. I think they're going to see that addressed in the next couple of picks because they're up to 9. I've heard 12. Have you heard maybe up to 15?
Well, that's the next issue. Right now, they're going to have O'Brien estimated about 67 guys on scholarship for the 2013 season. They've got to be to 65 for the 2014 season. I count 10 seniors among the 67 that they now have on scholarships. So you subtract those, you're down to 57. You theoretically only have 8 openings, and they have 9 guys here. So
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what that means, but it's going to be again. We're talking now. Again, kids transfer, stuff happens, But it's going to be a real numbers crunch for Bill O'Brien. It's complicated.
But so far, it's pretty exciting what he's been able to accomplish.
Absolutely, I think it's amazing.
During these sanctions, these kids, these are big. These are 4-star guys coming.
A lot of them, definitely big-time recruits, and some kids that maybe are going to have maybe sleepers. Nick Scott, I think, is a kid who originally from Lancaster, who is might be in that category. But anyway, this guy does not sleep in recruiting. It's 365, and he is really getting after it.
Good.